middle of November now, and to me the past 2 weeks especially have been like peak autumn, peak colours for the trees and the leaves, and even the grass has become just really green and vibrant, and it's just been beautiful. So I wanted to take this opportunity before autumn before winter comes, and really try and capture autumn. And where best to come than your local woods. I've come to just outside Ashford in Kent, quite a big woods. You could actually get lost here, called King's Woods, and really been enjoying wandering around here. It's a managed woods, so different areas of the woods have different types of trees. Now and again in between those sections of trees you'll get the odd sapling or the odd tree that shouldn't be there, which just stands out and looks amazing. So I've just been, especially with this gloomy overcast weather today, wandering around, just researching, just looking, seeing if anything takes my fancy, see if there's anything worth coming back for, and just wandering around, taking pictures, soaking it in, and just getting the atmosphere here. I've not brought my camera. The only camera I brought is this thing, so that and my phone, taking some snapshots, just enjoying it. Walking along the main track, so I went off track a bit. And I was drawn into this area here. It's got these dark trees. You know, there's a lot of trees, it's quite thick, making them quite dark, and the bark's very dark as well. There's almost like a divide. We've got these dark trees here, and then coming out towards the light more, we've got still dark bark on the trees, on the trunks, but the leaves, these kind of yellowy green, light green leaves kind of stick out, especially against this dark wood. And I come across this little scene here. We've got this dead tree, it's got all the leaves on it still, they're all dead, so it's really dark, sitting against leaves, all these nice brown and yellows on the floor. And you know, it stands out, doesn't it? Really stands out. And then slightly above it, we've got these fresh, I say fresh, they're still on the tree, they're still on the branch, slightly greener than what's on the floor, against the dark background again. Took a few kind of pictures with my phone, just to see how it looks, and yeah, really, there's something about this that I really quite like. There's a contrast, a lot of contrast going on in colours and light and dark, you know, life, death, the passing of a season from summer into winter. I feel there's a lot going on in this scene here, so taking a few pictures, hopefully got some good GPS coordinates using my phone when you take the pictures, and I might come back in the next few days before this scene's gone and take advantage of that. I like that. Okay, I found another nice scene. Again, similar to that last one, we've got the dark background with some nice light leaves that are just kind of shouting out against that dark background. And then slightly to the left, we got like this clearing. As you probably noticed, we're going downhill a bit, and then it's coming up the other side. And up on the other side, through the clearing, we've got some beautiful brown leaves on the floor there, it's kind of light against the dark again. So we've got a layered composition situation going on here. So we've got light against the dark, and then dark into the light again. And there's something interesting about that. Yeah, I like that. There's something about that. It's now technically sunset, but it's been overcast all afternoon, all day in fact. But I came to do research, and that's what I did. I've been walking around all afternoon, been just enjoying the beauty of autumn and the trees and nature, and just wandering around aimlessly. It's been really enjoyable. Now it's getting dark, so I'm going to call it a day, and looking forward to some dinner. So that is it for today from Kingswood. I will be back shortly to get the shots I've been checking out today. So yeah, ciao for now. So I've come back, and it's literally 48 hours after I was last here when I was exploring, and I've come 2 hours before sunset to do a bit more exploring, check up on some of the scenes I identified last time. And I've come up to the first one, which was actually the first one I spotted the other day, and I took a few pictures. But I'm just so amazed how quickly, in just 48 hours, how much the colours have changed on this tree. Now, let me spin round. So I spotted this beautiful sapling with pretty much all the leaves still on it, and they're still a nice colour, still a nice light brown, yellowy colour. But when I was here 2 days ago, they just had that much more vibrance about them. And I'll flash up the picture so you can see to compare. But just crazy how quickly things can change this time of year. Well, any time of year, you know, with flowers and nature. So you've really got to be on it. Really got to be continually. You can't be like, oh, I'll leave that till next week, because next week they'll probably be dark brown and dead, and there's no point taking a picture then. But unfortunately the other day it was so overcast you couldn't really do much with anything. But now the sun's out, shining strong, casting nice shadows, and now it's about finding that right scene. I might still use this, just wait for the light to come round and hit it a bit more, just to make it shine like a beacon. But yeah, crazy. Right, I'm going to do a little bit more exploring and then maybe come back here, unless I find something better. Okay? I think I found one of the scenes I had in my head. Now I've noticed the more longer I've been doing photography, the more I kind of go out with images in my head that I want to capture. You know, there's a variety of different images, and they're probably influenced a lot by what I see other photographers do. or as you're driving along you spot something, you think, oh that'll work, but I just need these other elements for it to really work well, you know. And one of the ones in a wood setting that always works well is that little tree, a young tree, or perhaps just a smaller tree that's got a bit of colour, a bit of personality about it, that's surrounded by bigger, darker trees, you know. And walking around the woods, you can always spot the odd one or two little trees in amongst other trees. But generally, they never work compositionally because the trees are too tight to them, or they don't really have the right colour in them, or you know, something never quite right. But I think I found something that can really work. This tree here. Now we're surrounded by these massive trees, these conifers that are still dark green, and because of that they're really blocking out a lot of sunlight. And here we have, without any of the trees being too near it, we've got this dead trunk here with a few interesting fungi growing on them, and then out of the bottom of this trunk has grown this younger tree with these beautiful yellowy green leaves on that just stands out against this domineering evergreens around it. And as you'll notice over here, the sun's beaming through and it's casting some nice shadows and pieces of light. So what I think I'll do, because the ultimate point of capturing this, because timing is so important, is going to be when this sun moves around and it hits the leaves on this tree, or even just the trunk itself, just that area. And if we look, the sun is coming down this way, it's going to set over here somewhere, so as it comes down round, it should then, this light that we just see here should move around and hit this tree. So that is what I got in mind. So I'm going to walk around it a few times, take it in, think about the best angle for the composition. If there's anything else I can use around the area to help with the composition, to make it more interesting or create more of a ambiance. But yeah, pretty happy with this find. Okay, so I've recently got a 70-200, and I thought I want to use that because one of the advantages of that is you can compress kind of the layers, as if you will, the foreground and the background and so forth, and make them feel a bit closer and so forth. And I thought I might be able to frame it better if I come further away from the subject itself. So I've come out, so where's the tree? Is that it? That's the tree there. And I've come out onto the actual path here, which is where I was walking along to and saw it in the first place. So I've put the 70-200 on. I'm 70mm in, and I've framed it portrait, so that, let me show you, so that basically I have the tree, and it's got this nice lean over to the left here, which is really nice. And then, so from the base of the tree, looking up the tree, up into the dark woods behind it, so it gives it that element of scale. So we know it's a smaller tree compared to what's around it, using a polarizer to help make the colours off it pop, off the leaves a little bit more. And because I'm zoomed in quite a way, I can put on the hard grad, which makes it more a softer grad, bring down the sky above it. So that's the idea. f2.8, because I can slightly isolate the tree against the background, make the background less sharp against the tree. Also, that means I can have a faster shutter speed, so the leaves will be less blowy. Going out of my hard and fast rule of keeping to ISO 100 with this camera, probably about ISO 400, 200, 400, so I can get a 1/50th shutter speed or around that to try and keep the leaves sharp instead of blowy. So that is the idea. Let's see how it turns out. Some beautiful woods. This section I've come into now, it's just so kind of open, beautiful brown leaves on the floor, bit of green around it, and get some beautiful light coming through as well. But my problem is I'm too late for this bit of woods, because there's hardly any leaves on the tree. It's all on the floor, and I feel like if I spent time setting up a shot here looking for a composition, I just don't think I would be that fussed by it in the end. There's more trunks than leaves, you know. It's kind of siding on the wrong side of things I want in the picture. So I mean, it's lovely, but just I'm too late. And next year I'm going to come back here earlier in the autumn and come regularly as well, just to watch it, because I'm still learning. And you think, oh, I can just go out in the middle of autumn, take some pictures, but you can go out in the beginning, the middle and the end, and everywhere in between, and you would be taking different pictures every few days almost, you know. Especially the last few days, everything's just really turning browns and yellows and falling off the trees at a crazy rate. So, you know, day by day here it's changing so fast. So lovely section of woods, but for another day, I think, this one. The sun makes such a difference to the beauty of the world we live in. I mean, for instance, my face looks beautiful right now because the sun is hitting it at sunset with the golden hour and making me look way more beautiful than I really am. And the same goes for trees, plants, things that are naturally beautiful anyway, but then the sun hits them in a certain way. Oh, amazing. And wandering around, got these branches that's, don't know if it's fallen off, been lopped off or what, but they're just so deep brown, and then we've got the sunlight hitting them, and they've got this really like contrasty, even deeper brown, orange look about them. Beautiful. Well, the sun has now gone down and I'm traipsing through the woods, so photography over for today. Hope you've enjoyed this vlog. Trying to get outside of the landscapes, the big wide landscapes, and into something a bit more intimate. And kudos to those photographers that do this kind of photography as their main style. It's not easy. It takes a lot of looking and searching and time, and you know, it's very seasonal. And when you do have the right season, you've got a small time frame to work with, and you know, a lot harder than just shooting big vistas, you know. Even when you found that nice tree or intimate scene that you want to capture, it's finding a good composition with it, that hasn't got other trees in the way, or you know, just some ugly foliage around it. You know, it's not easy. So kudos to those that do that as their main type of photography. But thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Give us a subscribe. Give us a whoop whoop. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a thumbs down. Give us a miss. Up to you. Write a comment about your favourite style of photography. Yeah, so thanks for watching. Ciao for now.